Hi, my name is Michael Roussel. I'm a technology coach, and I want to talk to you about bringing your own devices in the classroom. The pros and the cons that come with bringing your own devices, or bringing your own technology to schools. Bringing your own device or bringing your own technology is gaining popularity in schools. It's becoming a good idea to cut costs while keeping newer devices in the classroom. Students are using devices and apps they're familiar with to learn and to be productive while they're in school. Students are also using these apps to get better at technology, to have more learning experiences to take them to the next level of their learning for future college and for even the workplace. Just think, what are these devices? Where are they right now? They're at home, plugged into a charger. Wouldn't it be better to put them in students' hands so that they can be productive learning and become better students? Bring your own device is an IT policy where students are allowed to use personal devices to access the internet and applications. Quite the dilemma for IT people. It's quite the dilemma for myself as an IT coach, because I have so many ideas for bringing devices into the classroom, so many applications that students can use to access the internet, to do their work, and to be more engaged. The key is having them more engaged. But we're faced with the seriousness of IT security rules and hesitation from technology directors that's responsible for keeping all of these devices in a secured environment. It can also be beneficial for folks, teachers, and students alike that have their own devices, that pay for their own apps, and just be able to use them in an educational environment. Just think, I buy apps that I am most productive with, mostly for doing work, not for my personal life, but for doing my work as a technology coach. This is not refunded to me from the schools, but I choose to pay for these applications or tools for technology to be more productive. For example, I use Evernote application. I use it to take notes to be shared amongst all my devices. Anywhere I am, online, offline, I pay for the premium version so that I can have access. This makes me a better coach for my teachers, so I don't mind paying the cost. I also pay for Office 365 so I could have access to edit, create documents, PowerPoint presentation, Excel spreadsheets, and have a cloud service for storage. I don't mind paying for these items. It's just a hindrance when I can't use them in my school because I'm not able to bring all of my tools with me because we don't have a BYOD program. And that's what I want to talk about. Being able to bring these devices into the classroom, into the schools. So we must talk about some of the pros and cons from my experience, from my attending conferences, from other, just listening to others that have been involved in the same process. Mobile devices are transforming the world of computing at schools. Everywhere BYOD becomes more prevalent. BYOD offers multiple benefits for students, teachers, administrations, parents, and IT staff. Schools must take advantage of a unique opportunity to implement interactive learning environments that leverages the power of personal devices. Our kids, our students are at home using devices all day. Can you imagine being stuck going to class just for pen and paper the way traditional education has it? Standards of today technology showing us more and more that we have to keep our students engaged. And BYOD is a good way of doing that. But it comes with a cost. Think about this for a second. The speed of digital information when a 5.9 earthquake hit Richmond, Virginia on August 23rd, 2011, residents in New York read about the quake on Twitter 30 seconds before they experienced the quake themselves. Wow, that's amazing, huh? The rapidly changing mobile landscape. In 2011, global smartphone shipments exceeded personal computer shipments for the first time in history. As of March 2012, 46% of American adults were smartphone owners, up 35% from 2011. By 2015, more Americans will access the internet via mobile devices than desktop computers. Wow, huh? One more for you. Mobile broadband subscriptions are expected to grow over 5 billion globally in the year 2016. Something, huh? Why should you listen to me? Well, I've been a technology person in education for 16 years. I've worked for Catholic schools for 14. I've been in public schools now for 3. I have a lot of experience when it comes to integrating technology in the classroom. With Catholic schools as a technology coordinator, I have more control over devices, internet access, security issues. So it was easy for me to integrate technology. Where we are today, 16 years later, there's much more devices and applications and security risks and things of those natures. The schools I work for, Catholic schools, no more than 300 students. Now, 1,100 students in my school. I service over 120 teachers, teachers' assistants, providing technology and integration ideas. That's why I feel so strong about bringing devices in the classroom. Because it just has so much more to offer the students to keep them engaged, to get them excited about learning. Sometimes they don't even realize they're learning. BYOD could offer teachers the freedom to choose what apps or software they want to use. I have brand new teachers coming out of college. Some of them like Macs, some of them like PCs. We're a strict PC environment. If we allow them to bring their own technology, they will be better teachers. So I'm kind of pushing for this. You know, you have to deal with if our facility, school offers Microsoft Word, but they like Word Perfect. If they like Excel, we use Excel. If teachers coming in, students like to use Google. Google's so popular now with all the apps that they offer. Bringing your own devices will allow them to use whatever software they want to be productive with. Whatever applications they're currently using. It could be something they use in college that they're more comfortable with, that they could reach the students. One of the key issues is security. To address security, we could put policies and procedures in place. Acceptable use policies, putting the responsibility onto the users, could limits to what teachers can bring into the building. Put a limit on it, like maybe allow teachers to bring one device, or maybe, to use one computer as opposed to one laptop and a desktop. So you can put limits on it. We have to no longer let security be an issue as an excuse not to. A couple of ways we could address this. We could have guest wireless services. We could have special wireless just for the devices that's being brought in. New teachers want to use what they're most comfortable with. Keeping them in their comfort zone allows them to build curriculum that can reach students, because this is what they learned in school. So now we're going to handicap them by telling them they can't use these devices or they cannot use these applications. I think we should really reconsider that because, after all, they were learning the most recent technology in school. Yet, teachers are held back by IT directors with no knowledge of these apps and devices because their responsibility is keeping security, keeping devices, keeping the wireless, keeping the infrastructure safe. While it's important, we must not hold our teachers back from being creative and sharing what they learned in school. Teachers are becoming frustrated because they're not allowed to bring their own devices. And also, you're spending more money on professional development because they have to relearn or they have to learn the devices or maybe the applications that's in school. In most cases, teachers, students' devices are more up to date and faster than the computers and software that's already in the school. Not to mention the new technology integration ideas. How do we get there? I think we get there by building a climate of trust. We get there by getting a buy-in from all the stakeholders, teachers, students, IT director, principals. We have to get everybody involved. Let the IT director lead the team to uncover the possibilities. We just need someone that's open and willing to input new programs into place to develop 21st century students, to become a 21st century learning environments. We must take the time needed to organize a team to develop a BYOD program. Test drive the program for a year before implementing the total policy will be a good idea. Planning is vital to a successful program. Consider security. BYOD brings with it a host of security concerns, including data protection and compliance with the Children's Internet Protection Act. How will you protect students' information and avoid data security conflicts? That's why a plan must be put into place. How will you protect the network from viruses and malware? It's always a concern. Will students be protected from unsolicited email or inappropriate sites? How will you monitor internet use? That's when you have to have a policy, a plan in place. Curriculum is also very important. You can't just order devices if you was moving to a one-to-one program or if you just wanted the students to bring in their devices. We still have to address curriculum. A BYOD program requires a significant amount of curriculum and analysis redesign in order to take full advantage of the mobile device features, because we can't just bring the devices in and don't have an idea of how these kids are going to be productive, what's going to keep them from playing Crazy Birds or playing games on them. We must have the curriculum and the plan in place so when the devices are brought into the school, how they will be used to educate the students. How will the school students be more engaged? Teachers may say that they are on board with BYOD, but are they also on board with changing the curriculum or knowing the impact on the teaching approach? The teaching style has to change. It requires the school to rethink its whole digital citizenship curriculum. It's important that we keep our digital citizen curriculum in place with added value of them learning how to use the devices. What are you going to do if teachers don't support the BYOD implementation? Well, all stakeholders got to be involved. All stakeholders must be willing to step up and make changes for their students and their schools.